Welcome to the Volatile Exhale. Thank you for joining me. I hope everyone is staying warm, hydrated. This commentary is pertaining to the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, 84 years of age. She's the mother of Savannah Guthrie, who is a NBC News commentator for the Today Show. There was a press release today in Arizona, and we're going to discuss the said information. And I'm also going to give you my commentary on what I think is going on due to the information that was relayed today. CBS News is the source.
Coverage of the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Savannah Guthrie. I want to bring in Anna Schechter back. We just heard this press conference in Pima County from the sheriff and also from the FBI. We know the FBI is throwing everything at this as well. Some new information involving the timeline and who police have talked to. What did they reveal that stuck out to you? Well, an Uber driver drove Nancy Guthrie to her daughter's home around 5:30, and so they've interviewed that Uber driver. That was some new information. They also talked about the people who work at the home taking care of the pool and the garden. Those people were interviewed. They have such a wide net because they haven't zeroed in on anyone. So this is really difficult. They were saying essentially no one is a suspect, and so
let me go back.
The county, from the sheriff, and also from the FBI. We know the FBI is throwing everything at this as well.
Hello, Sky.
Some new information involving the timeline and who police have talked to. What did they reveal that stuck out to you? Well, an Uber driver drove Nancy Guthrie to her daughter's home around 5:30, and so they've interviewed that Uber driver. That was some new information. They also talked about the people who work at the home taking care of the pool and the garden. Those people were interviewed. They have such a wide net because they haven't zeroed in on anyone. So this is really difficult. They were saying essentially no one is a suspect, and so they have to operate like everyone is a suspect. And the information, obviously, that is very chilling for all of us, although it is all chilling, is this ransom note that they're taking seriously that was given to other media that the family was notified about earlier in the week. And it includes a monetary demand and a deadline of 5 p.m. tonight. That's right. And that is key. And I think that is likely why they went out publicly last night with that family video, because the deadline was fast approaching. It was the night before the deadline. So the other thing the sheriff said is if this deadline isn't met at 5 p.m., there would be a second deadline a few days later. But that has got to be heart-wrenching for the family. Is it also strange, though, that there's been no contact if the deadline is mere hours away?
Hello, everybody.
It just doesn't look good for the investigation. Usually you would have that in these types of cases, generally speaking, if that person is really dead set on getting a monetary reward for the release of the kidnappee, they are engaging in this conversation and maybe making it difficult for the FBI, but they want to manipulate the situation so that they come out with money. And so the fact that that communication is not happening is distressing for the investigators, I am sure, because it's just not a good sign. All right, I want to go ahead and bring in retired LAPD Police Sergeant Marlon Marachi, who recently retired after 24 years as a sergeant with the LAPD. I want to talk to you about the pressure that authorities are under given that deadline tonight.
A lot of pressure, to the essence, and from watching in this press conference, you really can see how heartbreaking this whole situation is, and see at 5 p.m., what the next steps are. But just know that from a law enforcement perspective, all hands are on deck. The FBI is involved, using as many resources as possible to be able to continue to canvass the area and do as much investigation that we can.
So it looks like authorities also are zeroing in on this time frame between 1:47 a.m. early Sunday morning and 2:28 a.m. This is when there was that doorbell camera that was disconnected. Activity was noticed on other cameras. How are they going to hone in on that window of time and find out exactly what happened in those minutes?
A very good question. What I would say is like your colleague was mentioning about a forced entry. It seems as though there might be some that doesn't know
I'm sorry about
Nancy
that.
in particular. However, if it was unforced entry, then it's someone that he probably knows. But in these type of cases, investigations, whenever there's critical missings, it seems as though that sometimes they have worked up the location before. In other words, there has been some focus, considering, living in this house that's out in the desert area. There's probably been some workup prior to making this unfortunate tragic incident happen.
Okay, thank you
Hold
so
on one
much,
second.
Sergeant.
I'm trying to find something.
House that's out in the desert.
Okay, 1:47 a.m. Doorbell camera disconnects. 2:12 a.m. Software detects person on camera. So from 47 to the top of the hour, that's your 13 minutes. 12 after, that's your 25 minutes. So somebody was disconnecting at 1:47. 25 minutes later, the person is seen on camera, but law enforcement don't have anything after that. Thank you, Sky. No video available, no subscription after 2:12 when the person is seen on camera. Now, 16 minutes later, which is 2:28, says the app shows. God, I can't because this thing is on top of this. The pacemaker app shows disconnect from the phone at 2:28. So 2:12, somebody's on the camera. 16 minutes later, her pacemaker, I guess, is not pinging with the app. Next, following hours later, from 2:28 a.m., it is still Sunday. We're now at almost 12 o'clock. Family checks on Nancy because she has not gone to church.
There's probably been some workup prior to making this unfortunate tragic incident happen.
Okay, thank you so much, Sergeant. We appreciate your time. And just to recap, everybody, we have just heard an update from Pima County officials and the FBI in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, now in its 5th day. We are hours away from a deadline in a ransom note that several media outlets received that authorities are taking seriously, that demands a monetary transfer by 5 p.m. tonight. We also know that if that deadline isn't made today, another deadline is on Monday. We learned that blood found near that front door did come back as belonging to Nancy. We have a much more precise timeline on the events leading up to her disappearance. We have a $50,000 reward in this case, and we know that that ransom note included information about an Apple Watch, about a floodlight, in addition to the demands, and that disgustingly people are trying to take advantage and make imposter ransom notes that authorities now have to spend time and resources investigating.
Now, let's talk about that floodlight Apple Watch. You would know about the Apple Watch because there are pictures of Nancy with the watch on, with her daughter, certain pictures, videos. So anybody could have gotten that information about that. Floodlight, you could have went in on Google, searched the house, and seen floodlights. This is where I have the problem, and I'm going to give you my synopsis now with what has been revealed pertaining to this press conference. And I'm going to pull it up so everyone can know where I'm coming from. Lord have mercy, Jesus. And look at everybody's been searching Bitcoin price. Thank you, Sky Maiden. The alleged ransom note. TMZ reported receiving an email on February 3rd, 2026, claiming to have information about the missing 84-year-old demanding a large amount of Bitcoin. While the Bitcoin address provided in the message appeared to be valid in the blockchain, authorities have not confirmed if the message was sent by the perpetrators or by opportunists attempting to take advantage of the situation. Investigation. The Pima County Sheriff's Department is aware of the reports and is coordinating with the FBI to verify the claims. Status of the investigation. As of February 4th through the 5th, 2026, no specific suspects have been publicly identified for the extortion attempt for the kidnapping, which police are treating as a crime. In summary, while a ransom demand was sent to a news outlet, it is currently unknown that the individuals behind that specific message are directly responsible for the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. Law enforcement is treating it as part of an active unfolding investigation. Now, it's not showing me what I had looked up. Let's see. Hold on, everybody. I have to keep going in to pull up what I searched through Google. Yes, this is a response to the question I asked about an arrest pertaining to the extortion attempt, which was mentioned in this press conference. As of February 5th, which is today, the FBI has arrested an individual accused of sending a fake ransom demand related to the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, 84-year-old mother of Today Show anchor Savannah Guthrie. Here are the details regarding the arrest and extortion attempts. FBI Phoenix Special Agent in Charge, Heath J., announced at a press conference Thursday the 5th, which is today, that one person was arrested for attempting to profit from the situation by sending an imposter ransom demand. The nature of the fraud. While multiple media outlets reported receiving ransom notes demanding millions in Bitcoin, authorities determined that at least some of these were scammers' imposters. Status of the investigation. Although an arrest was made regarding a fraudulent note, Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos confirmed there have been no arrests in connection with the actual kidnapping disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, and no suspects or people have been identified. FBI offering $50,000 reward for information leading to the recovery of Nancy Guthrie or the rest of those responsible for her disappearance. And we also heard that Donald Trump is sending other agents in to help assess the situation. So I'm going to tell you what I think pertaining to this information. All three letters are identical that were sent to TMZ and other news outlets, okay? Stay woke, everybody. All three were identical. So it wasn't an issue of Pookie sent one, Bubba sent one, Bob sent one. All three were the same writing. But yet, somebody's already been arrested this morning for sending the note. So it would have to be the same person for all three, which would lead me to believe that this is personal. The disappearance of Nancy Guthrie is personal. There is no ransom. There will be no ransom paid. Somebody just decided they wanted to capitalize on this situation, which is so sickening and terrible, for you to come in to try to take money from somebody when you don't know Nancy and you don't have Nancy. This is the very reason why they have not responded to the Guthrie family, because they don't have Nancy Guthrie. This issue with responding by today, 5 o'clock, then Monday, I guess you're going to get rid of the lady. This is to get the Guthrie family to send the money through Bitcoin. But they are not related to Nancy Guthrie. Somebody went in this house and took her out. And it seems personal to me. It seems personal to me. Stay woke, everybody. I already told you all this ransom situation was not going to work out. I told you that in the live yesterday. I said this ransom is not going anywhere. I said I can't see her paying, even though she's made a video with her family saying they're willing to talk to the person who has her mother. But the person who made these notes, I believe it's the same person who was arrested. Checkmate. So now you exclude this person from the equation and you're back to square one. Where is Nancy Guthrie and who took her out of her home? And I say it's personal at this point when you exclude the ransom notes and the person being arrested. This is a very serious situation here. So now you have to say she was targeted. The person went to her house directly. They knew where they were going. They dismantled the camera. They were out there for a while, damn near 15 minutes playing with the cameras. Why? What is it about Nancy Guthrie you had to get in this house? Then, what I found interesting during the press conference, somebody asked the sheriff about who dropped her off. He don't want to answer if it was the son, the daughter. He just says a family member. What's the big deal? And I get it. He don't want to trip himself up because he's done that so far, because he's not used to talking to the public on serious situations. Like he said, the last time he's investigated a really, I guess, serious crime was that Gabby situation. But I'm woke. I smell bullshit. And you ain't got nobody to say nothing about this video. So they have taken down all the cameras and they were out there fumbling around. And this is why I said why you need sensors on your cameras. Now, flip side is the lady was asleep. So she ain't going to be paying attention to no notifications on her phone that somebody is rambling around outside in front of her cameras. She probably was asleep because she's trying to go to bed so she can go to church in the morning. So she ain't even aware that somebody is rambling around outside her damn doors. Hello, Calicat. Why did Nancy take an Uber to the daughter's house? They live only 20 minutes away. Why not pick her up? I don't know, sweetheart. Allegedly, she went there for dinner, games, things like that. I don't know. Hello, Penton. I don't know, but I want to come on. But I will say, listening to the press conference is irritating. It was irritating because, as I have said to a lot of you, I guess I can't really decipher information as of late. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I have had a lot of complications from my thyroid surgery, and one of the one of the side effects is irritability. So I get irritated very quickly listening to content, and I try to hold on so I can get the information out because I know somebody's going to come in and say, well, did you hear this? Did you hear this? And they said this. So I want to make sure I had to, stay lucid to get all the information. But after so many questions, my head started spinning and I was just fucking frustrated. And I get it. You want to address the questions because the people are there. They want to get the information out to the public. But it has been noted that the sheriff has made a few mistakes because he's not accustomed to addressing the public. But you have to be aware of your faculties when you're talking about a serious situation. You have to be careful you don't put something out that you have to then retract what you said, and I didn't mean this. So as Ashley Banfield would say, I want to give him grace, but I'm going to say Queen is all the way woke. I'm WOKNE. Now that we know the ransom is bullshit, even though they don't want to go ahead and say it, I'm going to say it. Because if all three are identical, you arrested that person this morning. And that's the reason why ain't nobody calling, making contact with the Guthries, because they in jail. Ding, 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 ding. They in jail. Bet you ain't going to be no more contact. I'll wait. I'm going to be Cat Williams now. I'll wait. Bet you there will be no more contact from this source from here on out. And it's Thursday. And just like the person was saying in this news commentary, don't you find it odd? Nobody's trying to talk to the Guthries about this woman and you supposedly have her? Because they don't have her. This was just somebody trying to get money. Well, Calicat, you can't tell anything if you don't have anything, sweetheart. That's the issue. The video is not revealing anything except somebody made contact with the camera. That's all they got. This is bad, 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 bad. And now with this ransom situation, which I am so glad that the FBI is involved because they have resources that Pima County don't have. You already knocked down the pins to this storyline, this case. It helps alleviate people, circumstances. You got 3 letters, 1 arrest, all letters identical, which would lead you to believe they all belong to the one person arrested. So you can knock that person out the box. So what do you have left after a fake ransom notes? This shit is personal. This ain't about no ransom. This is about somebody mad at this family, mad at this old lady, mad at the relatives, mad at Savannah Guthrie. That's what this is about. Greed, vengeance. She had a pool guy, a gardener. Who is the culprit? That's why I said, what's left in her wallet? So they're going to be checking everything. Banks, statements, who's trying to get money from the cards. Too risky. Going up to her ATM. I don't care where the ATM is. 7-Eleven, the actual bank. Too risky, too risky, too risky. Line of credit. This shit is personal. This is very personal. Somebody was either trying to rob the lady, get something from her. So then you got to ask that. Did she have a safe in the house? Did somebody know where she had a safe? Cookie jar, money in a Bible, money under the bed. Hey, I know where she keeps her jewelry. I know where she keeps this. And people working for you outside, they know your situation. She can't move. She can't walk. She can't run. She's here by herself. She has a millionaire for a daughter. You just don't know. I'm curious if this has anything to do with the fact that Savannah was going to cover the Olympics. Who knows, honey? Who the hell knows? It could be political. Her husband worked with the Democrat, something, something, something. We also know she's full of money. Somebody, you see, you just don't know. But like I said, what helps me determine that this is personal is because the ransoms are full of shit. So once you knock them out the box, you're back to square one. Who wanted to hurt this lady? Why did you take her out of the house? So this goes back to what I said. Only people involved with the victim would remove her. A stranger has no reason to remove her. Even if somebody in town found out that she's got a wealthy daughter, why am I going to remove her? Yeah, I would remove her if I'm trying to get ransom money. But as you see, the ransoms are fake. They're fake. So that takes you back to square one. Why would you take her out the house? Why did you put your hands on her? This is personal. This has something to do with Mrs. Guthrie, Mrs. Guthrie's family, or her daughter. Take your pick. This is real personal. Could be somebody that worked for her. Like I said, they thought she had money. They thought she had something of value in her house. She's alone. She can't do nothing. She can't fight us. But this ain't about no ransom. No, this is not about a ransom. It's obvious because like the news said, you want money from Savannah Guthrie. You are going to be in contact with her, not TMZ, not the local news. You want to go to the Grand Poobah. You want to go directly to her. I also have a problem with Savannah Guthrie doing everything on IG. Why are you on Instagram making videos and talking to people on Instagram? Everybody's not on Instagram. You don't need to be talking to the news. The fact that the FBI had to go to the fucking sister's house to make the video, I have a problem with that. Why would you not go to the news? Why wouldn't you have the news cameras come to the house and film a video saying, hi, we are the Guthries. We are concerned about our mother. We love our mother. We want you home, blah, blah, blah. I'm baffled by all of this. And I'm also going to say, I didn't like the way they looked in that video. The brother didn't even blink. And the sister, I'm just not getting a good vibe. No, ma'am. You can see her trying to tear up a little bit. Annie. But Savannah's the only one really crying. And I didn't get, I know it's something off with with the notes they were reading. Just something's off. Something's off. I could be wrong, but I didn't get, I know, I didn't get the, I don't know how to explain it. I do know how to explain it. I just don't want to say it because I don't want to appear judgmental. I didn't get what I thought I should have been getting. That's all I'm going to say. The brother, why aren't you stroking your sister's shoulder? It's okay. It's okay. He's just sitting there like a bump on a log. That's your mother. You can't cry. Why? Because you're a man. You can't cry. Man, I wouldn't give a damn what nobody thought. That's my mama. I'll cry. I'll cry. It's my mama. My mama gave birth to me. You can't be worried about an image because you're a man. And the fact that the daughter and the husband were ducking down in the car yesterday, that don't look right. What are you ducking down? Everybody knows your mother is missing. What's the secret? I could be wrong in what I'm assessing. Something is off with these three. And the fact that Banfield's source says this brother-in-law is a suspect, naturally the sheriff is going to deny that. He is not getting ready to tell you nothing about nothing. Nothing. Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm exhausted already. I'm exhausted. I'm just exhausted. Buffalo says prayers that Miss Nancy's found. Gallows said it didn't tell us much. Well, Cali Cat, I don't know. So they're going to look at everybody. Church members, Uber driver, people who worked for Mrs. Nancy doing lawn care, pool guy, anybody that did deliveries, pharmacy deliveries. It's obvious she probably didn't drive, although she had a Subaru. I can see that was a Subaru emblem on the back of that SUV. She's got that truck there, but she's not driving, which will ask. So we have to ask that question. Why isn't Nancy driving? Because maybe she knew she was going to be gone long and she didn't want to come back in the dark. But then that don't make no sense either because, I mean, it does make sense, but daytime driving, she's obviously not driving. I guess. I don't know. Where's the church? How far is the church from her house? Wondering about that. Does she drive to church? I don't know. Something is, my spirit is telling me something is not right. Anybody want to hit the link? Does anybody watching this live stream or in the chats that wants to hit the link and join the panel to give your public opinion? I will put the link in the chats. You do not have to show yourself. My spirit is telling me this is funky, funky, funky. This is not good. This is somebody that knows her. Because now that we know this ransom is not panning out, because it does not look like that it is, this is personal. This is why I said somebody went in there either to get money from her and make it look like she was kidnapped, or they went there to rob her, but they know of her. Take your pick. It's one or the other. I don't know, something about that brother and something about that sister. It's bothering me. I think it's someone that knows her too. Yeah. Hello, Sony. Sony, you're a mess. Sony, you need to hit the live, hit the link, because you've had a lot to say the past couple of days, and you need to come up here on the panel and give your opinion. You can't give your opinion while you're cooking. I need somebody diligent that wants to come on up and give their opinion. Hello, Criminal Network. How you doing? Anybody in the audience that wants to come up here on the panel and give their opinion? I don't want to be the only one talking. That's the purpose of this StreamYard, is to give you all a chance to speak, because all this typing. People like to hear other people's opinion because it helps the continuity. You know what I'm saying? Of the live streams, to hear other people voice their opinion and we can interact back and forth with one another. So if there's anybody that wants to join the panel, I will drop the link. Say what? I literally just left my DNA all over the. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're saying. Criminal Network, are you coming in to give some information? Are you trying to converse with us? Or are you trying to crack jokes? Okay, everybody, that's my synopsis of this press conference. I'm just not. I'm not feeling none of this ransom stuff. It's obvious the ransom is a farce, and I don't believe the lady's alive. I'm gonna go ahead and say it now. She's not alive. The ransom don't have nothing to do with her kidnapping. That was just somebody trying to get free money. Whatever happened to Nancy in that house and thereafter, it's personal. And that's what I think. Somebody wanted money. Somebody mad at the payment they got. Maybe they thought she didn't pay them fairly. I don't know. Something to do with the daughter. It could be a brother sister issue. Maybe there's some jealousy with the siblings. She's doing better. She's a millionaire. Everybody's putting her on a pedestal. It's some bullshit. That's all I'm going to say. It's some bullshit. Network says the family's involved. Okay. How many of you believe the family is involved? I will put up another poll since we've got this new information from the FBI and the Sheriff's Department. With what you've learned today from the press conference, what is your theory now pertaining to this case? She's alive, she's not alive, because the fact that these people who wrote the ransom, the guy, girl, whomever, didn't stay in contact with the Guthries, whomever, that don't make no sense, because you want money. You allegedly have the lady. You're gonna keep contact. I mean, this is your show. If you have the lady, you have Mrs. Guthrie, you want this Bitcoin money, you are going to stay in contact. And like I said to everybody, I have kidnapped the person. And it's not going to take me no 2 damn days to reach out to nobody to get the message out that I want money. I'm going to go straight to the daughter. She's the grand poobah. She's the one with the money. So I'm going to go directly to her. You see the daughter stays on fucking Instagram, then go in her damn message box. Hey, I got your mama. I need my money. You want your mama? You want to see your mama? Then send the money over here. This ain't about no ransom. Oh, criminal, please. Very close to or on the property. All right, criminal says she's worth 40 million. Okay, somebody in the chat today said she's worth 8 million. I think she's probably got more money than that. Yeah, this ain't about no ransom. This is this is something else. This is what I said to you guys yesterday. I don't know the worth of Mrs. Guthrie. Naturally, her daughter's probably sending her money every month. Her house is paid for, car paid for. She probably has insurance. So There will also probably she probably has a will. So you have to ask yourself who has something to gain by the demise of Mrs. Guthrie. Insurance, car, deed to the house, bank account, whose name is on the bank account. Who does the mother trust to say, when something happens to me, you have access to go in my bank account because you need to have given this information to the bank, number one. Number two, you will have it written in a will. I want this person to be in charge of this, this, and this in case I get sick, I pass away. Who is that person? Savannah, Annie, or the brother? Is it one of the children wanting money, property from Mrs. Guthrie? We now have to ask ourselves the value of the property. Yeah, we're going to go into Belly the Beast, everybody, because this ransom shit looks fake. So that means it's either somebody who has revenge against these people, wanted money from Mrs. Guthrie, but it still makes no sense because if I wanted to break into the house and rob you for jewelry, whatever, I don't need to take you out of the house. Because if I'm killing you, what do I need you for? I don't. And the only time people take you out of the house, as I have said, is yes, a legitimate ransom, because I never really focused on that when I was talking to you guys yesterday. A legitimate ransom, yes, they'll take you out of the house. Number two is personal. I got to make it look like a kidnapping because somebody can link me to her by DNA, visual on the camera, and the fact that you've dismantled all these cameras, you are awfully busy. You are awfully busy. See, when I look at her house, the brick facade where it's got the I can't describe it, but the circular front where there's the brick facade outside the house. You should have cameras all the way at the top of that brick because nobody's getting ready to climb up there to spray paint it, cover it up. Because one, you'd have to get a ladder, you can't reach it. You put the camera the farthest away from somebody being able to reach it. Same thing with the garage. You put the cameras all the way to the top where nobody can reach it. Inside the house, you put the cameras in a place where the person could not even recognize there's a camera. That way, they can't dismantle something they cannot see. Checkmate. And I find that interesting. There were no cameras inside. Because you see, it defeats the purpose of having cameras outside if they can be dismantled. Once they're dismantled, it's a free fall once you push your way in the door. You should always have cameras inside. Always. And you have them in places that a person can't even detect it's a damn camera. This sounds personal to me. This is personal. Either somebody went in her house, took something of value, or it's revenge against her, something she did, she said, something her child said, somebody said, somebody may have liked her. As I told you, just because she's 80 doesn't mean she couldn't have been dating somebody. She could have been in a relationship. Maybe there was a man that liked her. It could be anything, but it's personal. It's personal. It appears personal to me. And I'm just telling you, that video they put out with the brother and the two sisters, something in that video is rubbing me wrong. Something in that video is rubbing me wrong. Savannah seems the only one to me mourning the mother. The brother, that motherfucker barely moved. Now somebody can say, well, Queen, maybe that's his demeanor, blah, blah, blah. He's quiet, he don't say nothing. Okay. Something's off. And I'm gonna tell you something I'm noticing too. This takes me back to the case of Summer Wells, the case Sebastian Rogers. And some of you are going to say, well, what's the correlation, Queen? I'm going to tell you. Anybody listening? Because you know I'm going to break it down. Summer Wells went out with her mother all day long over to Kingsport. Over here, over here, over here, over here, over here. And allegedly she gets back to her house in the middle of nowhere and goes missing. But the other kids, they don't go missing. Now, let's go on over down to Middle Tennessee. An autistic kid is out with his mother all day long. Over here, over here, over here, over here. And yet, allegedly, he returns home and disappears in the middle of the motherfucking night. Now, Arizona. Elderly lady Ubers to her family's house for dinner, games, blah, 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 and returns home by an alleged family member. And then hours later, somebody's making contact with her doorbell cameras, dismantle all cameras, and makes their way into the house. And then the sheriff also lets us know he ain't going to tell us how they got in and if it was forced entry. Why not? You know why you don't want to tell the sheriff? Because you know that if you tell us the truth about the door and the entry, we're going to start to chatter even more. Am I right? You don't want to tell us that there was no forced entry. Stay woke. Because what if we find out there was no forced entry? Then that means the culprit is definitely known to Nancy Guthrie. That means she got up and let the person in. She didn't leave a door locked. They walked in, or they have a key to get in. Checkmate. Lord have mercy. This is bad. Because everybody is asking the same question. What do you want with an 84-year-old? There are lots of things. Because people who are older have money. She's driving a Subaru, for God's sake. Stay woke. Older people keep money. They keep cash, something you young people don't like to keep because you're all addicted to debit cards. Every time I talk to somebody, do you have any money on you? No, I don't. I just got my debit card. Old folks keep money on them. Old school keeps money on them. Something I've been trying to tell the fans, please keep a few dollars on you. Somebody may have known that. She kept money on her in a cookie jar, in a Bible under her bed, in the closet, jewelry. Was her bedroom ransacked? Does she have missing jewelry? Does she have missing credit cards? All her personal documents, insurance papers, deed to the house, deed to the car, where are they? Her will, where is it? Does she have a living will? Who is the executor of her will? I'm starting to get a bad feeling. This is personal, not Gardner, not pool guy, not the neighbor, not an immigrant, not somebody from church, not somebody that had a crush on her, but family. Sick of this old lady, tired of being bothered, ready for her to go down. Because if a person is greedy, hungry, they know they are in a will, they know that they're going to get some money, they will gladly knock you off. Well, that's a terrible thing to say. Criminal says the house is worth $1 million. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. For all we know, somebody, because I doubt that it's Savannah, if indeed this is personal, that leaves the brother and the daughter or a grandkid. Are we also talking about a grandkid who could be entitled to something? Hey, I'm going to leave you my house. Hey, I'm going to leave you my car. See, we don't know. I haven't heard anything about any adult grandchildren. If you know that you're in a will, you know you're going to get something from a house. You know that the house is going to be willed to you, and you are tired of waiting. You don't have no problem with knocking off an old lady. You don't have nothing inside of you. You're empty as hell. You're a fucking sociopath. Yeah, I'll kill my mama. I'll kill my daddy. It happens every damn day. I don't have it. People are knocked off every day for money. People are breaking into the dope man's house. People are robbing the dope dealer. People are robbing famous people, sportsmen. It's every day. I know there's goods in there. I know there's money in there. I know there's jewelry in there. I got to get in. They owe me money. I need some money. I'm in the wheel. I'm sick of waiting. Greed is the number one factor of homicide besides passion, jealousy, envy, revenge. It may have nothing to do with Savannah Guthrie, nothing to do with the Olympics, nothing to do with politics. Could be she's got some jacked up ass brothers and sisters that want that old lady gone. And that's a terrible thing to say because I told you guys, I never wanted to point the finger at the family. It never even crossed my mind until somebody started talking about it in the chat, the other day. And I said, Queen, maybe you missed something. Could it be one of the children? Greedy ass children? They're not doing so well. And as I said yesterday, we are all human, okay? And some of us have not acquired what we think we are due. And I think you know where I'm going with this. Why not me? Where is my accolades? Why are you always talking about Savannah? Why are you always talking about that brother, that sister? What about me? I'm important. I want to be validated. Yes, it's very depressing for her age. What do the lyrics say, Sony? You got to remember he's in a band, so somebody else could have wrote the lyrics. Mothership, hello. Now it's being said she went to church via Zoom since the pandemic. How did they know she wasn't there? Oh shit. Mothership, where are you getting that? Well, she didn't answer and she didn't probably sign in. But if it's Zoom, okay, so she's Zooming church. So Zoom means you're signing in to the church meeting, church service. But if you're watching it from home, let's say Facebook, because my church, they do Facebook. The pastor don't know I ain't watching it through Facebook. Very interesting. Well, she wasn't going to watch it because she's already gone. Where are you getting this information? And why not go to church? Why not have somebody pick her up? Where's the church? As I told you all the other day, I learned that she was a member of a certain church, but she don't go to that church no more because somebody mentioned that in a news brief or something. That she used to go to a certain church, but she stopped going. So could it be something dealing with the church? Could she been somebody donating a lot of money to the church, but now she stops going? Somebody's like, hey, we need that money. See, you don't know, but it still is personal. Whoever took her out knows her personally. That's where I'm going with this. So it could be the butcher, the baker, somebody that is the DoorDash, somebody that's a UPS, somebody that knows her. That's my point. Because a stranger has no reason to take you out unless it is a legitimate ransom. We now see it doesn't look legitimate with the ransoms. Okay, Megan Kelly. Okay, I'll watch her later. It doesn't seem legitimate with the ransom because the person who sent the ransoms, I believe, is the one who was arrested this morning. So you take that equation away, it's personal. It's the children, it's a neighbor, it's a boyfriend, it's a love interest, it's somebody close. They feel like they've been spited by her. They think she's got some money in the house. It's something personal. And what's personal to me, it's not going to be personal to you or to this damn fool. But like I told you guys the other day, even if Mrs. Guthrie went out here and raised hell at the Piggly Wiggly, is it worth going back to her house to break to break in her house? I don't like what you said the other day. You embarrassed me. You hurt my feelings. Come on. Come on now. This is oh God, my stomach is turning. This is so bad. But as I was saying about jealousy, it could be sibling rivalry. You have to remember, all we have heard for days, Savannah, Savannah, Savannah. Think back to the Brady Bunch. Marsha, Marsha, Marsha. It's always about Marsha. Well, it could be the same here. And it's no disrespect to the family, but I'm going to keep it real. I'm knocking down every pin. You keep hearing a person's name all the time, you're going to start to ask, well, what's so special about Savannah? And as you heard the guy who went to school with her or worked with her at a news station, he said it during a live the other day. She had the it factor, Savannah. We knew she had it. She always had it. He said it at least 3 fucking times during the interview. So you think about this person bragging about this 50-something-year-old woman, 60-something-year-old woman, and then you think about all the people who probably talk about her just the same way. Now imagine being the brother and a sister, always hearing about your sister Savannah's accomplishments. How's your sister? Oh, I watched her this morning on the news. Oh, she looks so pretty. Oh, she dyed her hair. She cut her hair. On and on and on. You keep hearing that, you might start to get in your feelings a little bit. Damn, that's all you talk about is my sister. Everywhere I go, it's Savannah, Savannah, Savannah. What about me? What about me? I look nice. I'm attractive. Okay, I'm not on the news. I'm not on the Today Show. But what about me? I'm important. And who's to say that the mother didn't dote on her daughter all the time and talk about her daughter? Hey, my daughter's famous. Hey, my daughter's important. Hey, my daughter is beautiful. Savannah, Savannah, Savannah. See, we don't know these people, and we don't know what the fuck they had going on. For all we know, this is sibling rivalry. This is a mother who doted on her daughter because she's famous, because she's pretty, because she's talented. And these other people could have been in their feelings. Well, Mom, what about us? We're important. Were these siblings jealous of their sister and just wanted to get at the mother because the mother maybe showed more attention? This old lady cared more about this one famous daughter. I don't know. Let's just throwing it out there. Could this be about them wanting this woman's estate? We knock off mother, we can get her money, her savings account, sell the house, divide the money, boom, boom, boom. We can get something. I don't know. This might seem far-fetched to somebody. God knows my head hurts thinking about it. All right, I think it was son-in-law and Annie. I could be wrong. That's Buffalo. Buffalo, go to jumpsuit Pablo. He has it. I heard that Annie and Tomasco lived with Nancy before they got the $650,000 house. Okay, well that's what Radcliffe said yesterday or the day before. Could be some revenge there for something financially. Okay. And so that's why I always ask you all, where are you getting this information? How do you know they lived with her? So let's go there, because this is a part of the show that I don't like doing. It's talking about kids and envy, revenge, but we do know That's usually the motivation for homicide is passion, revenge, jealousy. We're going to exclude ransom. No ransom. When you exclude ransom, the only thing left you have is revenge and financial gain. If these kids lived with the mother, let's say she was tired of them being there, or they just didn't have their lives together financially, but they were able to go get a house later in life, what we have to ask ourselves is why were they not financially secure? Annie and the husband, because I learned that she was an author from years ago. That money's probably spent and gone. The husband is a school teacher. That means he probably ain't making no more than 40 something thousand a year at the schoolhouse. It's not a lot of fucking money to live in Arizona. Let's just keep it real. And $650,000, that's the going price for houses in LA, California. $700,000. It's just hell a two bedroom, one bath. Are these people not making it in life? Could it be the sister came through to help them get a house? Now, common sense will tell you when one person is the moneymaker and they offer to help, you should know the people will be back needing money. It's just the way it is. Survival of the fittest. Okay, you gave us money to put down. Okay, you still got to pay the note. You still got to pay the mortgage. So even if you got a $650,000 house and somebody gave you 50,000, 60,000 to put down, you still got to pay the mortgage, still got to pay the lights, still got to pay the gas. Ding, 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 ding. You're still going to be in a hole because now your eyes have gotten bigger. And now you got to go back to the bread maker. Hey, need this, need this, need this. It doesn't stop. And if indeed Savannah's giving mommy money, they've been teeter-tottering. Savannah. Hey, Savannah, we need some money. Hey, mommy, we need some money. Could be these siblings, brother, sister, whichever, they ain't got their shit together. Been struggling. And also, he's in a band. I think he's still in a band. I saw content about that. He's in a boy band, guy band. And could just be these people have not made it in life. And I think all of us know this. A lot of us are not where we want to be. I can speak personally. I'm not where I want to be. I'm not where I thought I would be. I thought I'd be some famous lady on TV doing movies and comedies. Well, I'm not there. But I ain't trying to knock off nobody either. I'm just saying. But I'm saying we all have dreams. We all have goals. Some of us have tried to attain them. Some of us have not. Maybe some of us have had health problems, financial issues, legal issues. We didn't get on that path where we thought we would be. This could be the issue with these kids. Somebody didn't make it. Somebody didn't go big. And now they're looking at the sister, looking at the mother as cash cows. And they're pissed off. Well, why can't you help us? Why can't you give us money? We need more money. That's what I'm trying to explain to everybody. It's never going to stop once you start giving money because the people are going to keep coming back. I think most of you know this from giving money and also begging for money. You get comfortable. Oh, he gave me money yesterday. I'll go back tomorrow. I'll go back 2 months from now. And before you know it, you are now a fucking burden because you're begging so much. And maybe somebody decided, I'm done. I'm done giving you money. I don't have any more money. I got money, but it's my money. And I don't want to give it up anymore. Her son, Cameron, a retired military pilot. Yes, I know about that. Annie is a writer and jeweler. Yes, I know about that. Savannah, national journalist co-host. Okay, Buffalo, where are you going? To me, Annie and Tommaso, would have the most to gain from Nancy. The mom has jewelry, I'm sure. Why pawn jewelry when you can remake it and sell it? What do you mean pawn it? I don't understand what you're saying, sweetheart. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Hold on one second, everybody. I want to put the link up. I don't know what's going on. All I'm going to say is it will be a shame if indeed, number one of these family members or somebody close to Nancy hurt her and unalived her. And definitely if it's one of her children, this would be just shameful. Absolutely shameful. Okay. I'm going to put the link just in case somebody decides they want to join the Queen. Give me a break talking. I thank you all so much for tuning in to this live. Hold on one second, everybody. I don't know what's going on with these people. Wonder if they have any children. The sister. Do they have kids? I don't know. I haven't heard anything about grandchildren the past couple of days. But another thing I thought about, if indeed this brother and sister, they are involved, brother and excuse me, sister and husband-in-law, husband, son-in-law. Can you imagine? They said they believe she's staying with them. I can't even imagine staying in a house with somebody and then hearing Banfield say the person is involved. Trying to understand what you're saying here. Let's see. If they wanted her jewelry and can't get money from a pawn shop, she could just remake it or crush it and sell it for scrap. Just an idea. Yeah, but nothing is worth anything nowadays. Cash money is gold. That's just bottom line. This woman is not walking around with expensive jewelry, like a very wealthy person who's spending money on diamonds and yellow diamonds and things like that. And then trying to resell jewelry. You're just not really getting money from that unless it's really expensive jewelry. We're not talking about the Elizabeth Taylor type jewelry. She had real fucking jewelry. The link is in the chat. If you would like to come on the panel and join the Queen, I'm 1 hour and 4 minutes into this live stream. We're discussing the press conference that took place in Arizona pertaining to the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, 84. We learned a little bit of information, but not a lot. We did learn that a person who was trying to extort money through a ransom has been arrested this morning. Don't know the person, don't know where they're from, don't know if it's a man, if it's a woman. teenager, an adult. The point is they have been apprehended. That's good enough for me. Who is this person? Random person, possibly. The point is they have been arrested. When you deduct this arrest, you're back to the drawing board of the why, because they said that all ransom notes were the same. So if this person is responsible for all 3 ransom notes, then that means it's not related to Nancy Guthrie, her disappearance. We're now day 5 of this lady being gone. Stay woke. No proof of life. No video to show she's breathing, she's talking, she's moving about. Possibly Nancy Guthrie is not alive. Let's talk about the motive, the culprit, and proof of life. Welcome to the Vault Excel. Lord have mercy. This is so bad. This is so damn bad. The link is in the chat. Make this live count. Join us on panel and give us your opinion. Oh, Lord. I'm just so frustrated. Because I just wanted a break from talking about this. I didn't want to talk about the Teppies anymore, for a while until we got some more information. And I'll be damned. I saw the story, this storyline of her being missing. I thought, oh, here we go. I said, well, I'll go ahead and talk about it, but damn. One second, sweetheart. Buffalo.
Hey there.
Where you calling Queen from, baby?
Tennessee, East Tennessee.
East Tennessee, right near the Queen. Shut your mouth.
That's right.
Welcome. I finally get to see you.
Can you hear me pretty good?
Yeah, you got the background noise.
It might be my earbuds. Let me see something.
That don't sound good. Yeah, come back in. I'm gonna go in the kitchen so I can pour me something to drink because I've gotten parched listening to my damn self. My nerves done got wickedly. Come on, you guys, come on up here on panel and talk to the Queen. Give us your opinion. I like to hear other people's opinion because I'm exhausted. Only talking about this case for a couple of days and I'm literally exhausted. Yes, Sony. I've announced that already here in the chat that the person's been arrested. So that's why I said we're back to, square one. This is not about a ransom, the disappearance of Mrs. Guthrie. Hello.
Hey there, I'm back.
Hello.
Can you hear me
All
better
right,
now?
let's roll with it. Let's start with number one. Is Mrs. Guthrie alive?
No.
Who's involved in the disappearance of Mrs. Guthrie?
I think Annie and I think Tommaso.
Okay, tell me why.
Well, number one, she's a juror, and I think that she could easily get rid of the jury that her mom has.
Her jury. Wait, slow down. Who says the mother has jury? She works. She works at this metal company through a warehouse. So where are you going with this jury stuff?
I just think they have something to do with it because
Go ahead.
And besides Ashley Banfield, I don't think she would get up there and risk her career for something isn't true.
So you're saying you don't think Savannah's involved? That's what you're saying?
No, I don't think Savannah's involved.
Okay. So what about the brother?
I think Annie and Tomaso is.
Okay, but not her brother.
No.
When you watch the three of them gathered together, tell me what you thought of the three sitting there talking about wanting their mother home.
I mean, my heart went out to them, all three. Annie looks guilty of something. I mean, that's just my opinion.
Okay.
She just looks like she's torn between her husband and her mother.
Okay. What about the brother? Because the brother didn't show any emotion either.
He was real quiet, but I think that's his military background. I think that's his demeanor.
Okay. Let me ask you something.
This is my opinion. She just looks guilty of something. I don't know.
Well, let me ask you this. Banfield has a source that says he was a prime suspect. Do you believe the source information?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you think that the sheriff knows that this is the truth, but he could not tell us that?
Yes, that's what I think, because a lot of people trust what Ashley says, but at the same time, he's got to react that because the public, he can't say, "Oh yeah, Ashley, you're right,"
Yes. Well, I'm gonna tell you what's messed up. The person who told Ashley this should not have said anything, because this is going back to just like with the case of David and Celeste. You got all these people talking and giving information, and it's confusing people. And if you've got an authoritative figure telling a reporter something, that ain't good. Because the sheriff is not going to admit to that, and the FBI ain't going to admit to it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay.
Right, exactly. I think that the sheriff has got to really watch his P's and Q's now, because he was real liberal at the very beginning, because it is an agency that's real small, probably never had a big case like this, so. I mean, probably I think about
He investigated the case where the lady got shot, the politician.
Right.
So that's been a while ago. Well, let's talk about the scene. Cameras removed, door open, back door open, and now no footage of the camera of the person making entry to the house or at the front door. What do you think about that?
I mean, I could just picture her, getting in an argument with Annie and Tommaso, and her trying to run out the door, and that explains the blood. Maybe she cut herself trying to get out, and then they led her to the back, and then they know it's dark outside to begin with, real dark. But I don't know. I pictured them in my head way before Ashley even said that.
Say what?
Before Ashley even said anything about, Tommaso, I pictured them two doing something to her because they were the eyes were with her.
Yeah, but she just wasn't.
And I think, I think that they lived with them for a while before they got that house, and that created a lot of, tension, and that's why she probably put that money up for them to get out. You know what I mean?
Wait, listen, slow down. Where did you hear that they stayed with her?
I'm trying to think where I heard that. I don't know. I'm watching a lot of YouTube channel. channels, and I've heard that though, and I believe
Okay.
that because just their demeanor, everything about them. I don't know.
Okay.
I
Well,
just
I
think
haven't
they have
seen
something
enough
to do
of
with it.
her to gather any information either way that they're involved. But what don't make no sense? They had to have dropped her off and then came back because the pacemaker didn't stop until 2:12. And allegedly
Yeah,
they dropped her off at 9:30, 9:45. So somebody had to come back to
that's true.
exactly her.
My friend, my guy friend, he thinks it's a home invasion. He thinks somebody was already in there when she got home.
Well, they could have been. I said that too.
I don't know. It's a mess. I pray that answers will come.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you remember back in Coburger days when it started, the police were, they had their eye on Coburger for what, a month or so before the public even knew anything about him.
Yeah.
And everybody else was all these rumors were coming up, and a lot of people were blaming some people in the food trucks and.
After they were killed, the security at the university where he lived made the car out in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and they had their sights on somebody to begin with, and they just let the public just run with speculation.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I can't imagine if Annie had something to do with it, and Savannah and her family staying with her, if that's true. Can you imagine the tension there?
But listen. Imagine, because we know she's heard the rumor. She allegedly is staying with that sister. So imagine you are staying with them and hear the rumor that he's involved. How are you going to talk your way out of saying, well, I think I'm going to go get a hotel room? She would fear her own sister and boyfriend, husband, or whatever. That would be a scary situation to be in.
Right, but she could be sticking around too just to get the scoop because she's used to being nosy, She worked for Court TV. She worked for.
She's a lawyer too. She's a lawyer.
Save face.
Yeah, well, my thing is, for safety reasons, I wouldn't stay with the sister once I heard that information. And also, she's worked with Banfield. Who's to say if she believes Banfield or not? But just all I'm saying is, just imagine hearing this information and you have been sleeping in that house with them.
I know, that's crazy.
So let me ask you something. If indeed this information is correct for Banfield, do you believe the sister is involved as well? You did say that? Yes, you did believe that?
Oh, yeah, I do believe Amy and Marcia was involved, yeah. Yep, sure do.
Lord have mercy. That's
I know it sounds awful, but when I read that she was a juror, and I've sold gold with you recently and stuff, and I know kind of how that works. A lot of people, they have jewelry or something, and they can't pawn it. All they gotta do is just crush it and sell it for scrap, and you never know it was Nancy.
Yeah, but the daughter would know. The daughter's going to know if any jury's missing. You know what I'm saying?
She's in on it.
No, I'm talking about Savannah will know if the jury's missing, I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, but Savannah lives in New York.
But you're not listening. She's here now, honey. She's at her. She knows what's in her mom's house. She's going to be looking around to see what's missing, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but all she has to do is wait for her to leave, and then she could go somewhere and sell it. The cops wouldn't know either if she sold it for scrap. I mean, think about it. If her jury is gone, and somebody can identify her jury, whatever, that person's busted. But if you got a juror that can crush, and I don't know, maybe I'm thinking too.
Yeah, jury. I mean, you're not really getting a lot for jewelry these days for gold and stuff, to my understanding. You just ain't getting it secondhand. No money for secondhand jewelry.
I don't know about that because I took 3 rooms to the pawn shop a couple weeks ago, $650.
Yeah, but you're willing to kill somebody for $100 for jewelry?
No, but that lady's what, 84? Can you imagine the jewelry she's collected over the years?
Well, I was looking
It
to see
probably
what
had
she
it in a
had
safe.
on
I'd
her
be
hand or
interested.
something. I didn't see a lot of fancy jewelry in all the pictures.
I have a lot of fancy jewelry. I just don't wear it. I keep it put up. A lot of people do that. They're afraid to wear heirloom jewelry.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know. When I see this is a jewelry, my mind went there. I can't get it off of Annie. I can't help it. I could be wrong. God forgive me if I am wrong.
Okay, well, let's focus on somebody else. Let's say it's not the son, or it's not the daughter.
Okay.
Then who else could it be?
And the son, he was just quiet. You couldn't get anything, you know.
No, I did. I said something. He was too quiet for me. You're not even rubbing your sister like it's okay, it's okay. You could see she was breaking down while she was reading the note. I thought it was strange. I'm sorry, but that's just to me. That's me.
Yeah, he didn't say anything to it until the end, right?
He didn't say shit.
At the end, he said, "I love you," right?
Listen, he didn't read nothing from the paper. He didn't touch his sister while she's reading it. Wouldn't you touch her shoulder or her arm or her hand and say it's okay? Come on,
yeah,
now.
He's fishy too.
Yeah, that's
The one that's not fishy is Savannah.
Well, she ain't got nothing to lose. She got money already.
Yeah, and see, I think, like you said a while ago, I think the money kind of went to the mother, and the mother, and Annie would go to her mother for money. She wouldn't probably go straight to Savannah, or she's probably, borrowed all she can from her.
Oh, using the mother. Okay, I didn't think about that.
I think she was using the mother. I think the mother's the one paid for them to get that house to get them out of there. Is what I think. And now the bills are coming due.
Well, you're going to have bills if you're in a house. That's common sense.
Yeah, but you're like you said that he's on a teacher salary. It's usually jewelry, or I forget how you say it,
Jeweler. Yeah, somebody's got to buy jewelry. Got to sell a lot of jewelry to make a decent salary.
Gold is really high right now.
And then to the jewelry she's selling, do you even know if it's real gold, real silver, if it's just metal or copper? See, I didn't know what type of jewelry it was she was selling. It just said she worked out of a warehouse. And then you got to think she's got to pay overhead if she don't own a warehouse. See, it's a lot of questions that we don't have answers to.
Yeah, and see, unless you have a picture or something appraisal on jewelry, it's the receipts for the jury. I mean, it'd be hard to track. You know what I mean?
So what now?
It's hard to track jury unless you have a appraisal letter on it, or somebody pushes it for you. I don't know. I think it has something to do with that. I really do. I think Annie and Tommaso are in on it.
Okay. But so you're trying to say they killed the mother just to steal her jewelry. Is that what the hell you're saying?
Not to steal her jewelry. I'd say she's in the wheel somehow. But out of just hate. People kill people out of hate all the time.
Mm-hmm. So she hated her mother.
In spite, I hate her because she maybe loves Savannah more. Or you just never know with people that are, not thinking right to begin with. And I mean, it's just weird how they live separate like that, It would make sense to me for them to live with her, and then she wants them out, so she gets in the house just to get them out.
listen, I haven't heard anything about these people living with the mother, so I can't really comment on that. I don't know for sure about that. I don't know nothing about them buying no new house. I don't know nothing about that. I can just base things on assumption. You understand what I'm saying? Because I don't know anything. I don't know these people. I don't know who this mother was involved with. I have no idea who these people are. The gardener, the pool guy, the church people. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But I know that with this ransom arrest, that is thrown to the side now. That leaves personal. You see where I'm going?
Yeah.
And I know the only people to take you out of the house is if they personally know you. Stranger robbers don't have a reason to take you out the house.
Yeah, I don't believe the ransom at all. I think it's
they got arrested, so we already know it's not real.
Yeah, I just
they don't have the
think about it. If you have somebody there that wanted money, I don't know why they would take her though. That's the thing, you know. The only thing I can come up with that is that she knew him. She had to have known him for them to take it, I think.
Right, that's what I'm saying. If it's not a legitimate ransom, then that means she knew her perpetrator. They were there for some reason, and it was probably an altercation, or she walked in on a robbery, something like that, or it's one of those options. But even if it was a robbery, I have no reason to take her out. If I startled her, and she's like, "What are you doing?" Blah blah blah. You put your hands on her. What is blood doing outside? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess the reason I go to that dark area with Tommaso is because of the band that he's in. This early, I forget what it's called. Early something. Anyway, it's real dark music, you know. One of them says something about, unalive lover.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? SUID. You know what I mean.
So they're talking about murdering people?
Yeah. Well, unalive something. I haven't really listened to all of it, but just the title of it.
Okay.
I mean, he just seems real dark to me.
Okay.
And I guess that's why I'm in this box with him, you know.
Okay, well, let me ask
him and her.
Listen, could it be that these two are on drugs?
Yeah, it could very well be, yeah. Maybe coke or something really expensive.
Fentanyl.
I just think they're dark people, them too. And you know, and to be with somebody like that, that's in I mean, it's okay for people, you know, to have whoever they want. But when you're with somebody dark like that sings songs about death and no God, anything like that, I just feel like they don't have a God conscience.
Okay.
Or at least he don't.
Okay.
That's just my opinion. And you know, to be with somebody like that, you got to be that way too, in a way, you know?
Yeah, I would agree.
I just think them two are dark.
Well, see, that's the thing about life, is that no matter if the mother was a Christian and believed in God and all of that is believing in God, it don't mean her children do that. It don't mean her other relatives do that. Everybody's different. We all come from different people. Sometimes we follow our parents' traditions with politics and this and that, or faith, but everybody's not going to be the same. You're going to always have the one person in the family that's very studious, they have a high IQ, they've gone on to do great things, and then you have somebody else who's a loafer. You know what I mean? They're not really productive as the other child or children or relatives.
Right.
It's really a sad situation, because I don't know why somebody would want to hurt a 84-year-old woman. I mean, come on, it can't be that serious.
And I think that blood on the doorstep, I think that's where Nancy tried to run. I can just picture her trying to run there, and then whoever bringing her back in.
Okay. Well, you got to remember, sweetheart, she had to get out of the house because she's not in the house.
Yeah. Now I think she tried to run, and they brought her back in.
Okay, they brought her back in, but they still have to take her out, sweetheart.
Oh yeah.
You got
I
to
know
remember,
this sounds weird, but I wonder.
listen, there's DNA in the house, but they won't tell us what it is. I'm going to assume it's blood. You got blood outside. Why wouldn't you have blood inside? You got to remember, she was in her house, probably asleep. So she's got nothing to see what the hell's going on in her house, or they woke her up.
Yeah, I wonder if they looked between the mattresses. There was one case I was reading about or listening to that the person was in between the mattress.
Well, that's something they usually do at hotels. Put people under the bed, under the mattress. I would assume somebody with some sense would look under the bed and under the mattress. Look in the closet, look in the crawl space, look in the attic, look in the basement, look in the garage. I think she's possibly nearby, and I don't think she's alive. I don't think she's alive. Now that we know about this ransom business that's fake, this lady's not alive. And I think she knew her killer, and they doubled back to her house, or they broke in. So we don't really know that they broke in. We don't really know that they broke in because he doesn't even want to, the sheriff don't even want to tell us if they broke in or not. It's a hot butter mess.
It is. I hope there's a resolution soon. I hope they find her or something.
I think they will. I think there'll be a resolution soon.
They could already know, you know.
That too. Yeah, they could. Wow.
Well, I'm gonna have to go, but it's nice talking to you.
Okay, sweetheart, you take care.
All right, you too.
Okay, bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
You're welcome. All right, everybody, that's Buffalo. I'm not gonna hold you all. I'm gonna hit the. Oh, she's off. We got 17 viewing. As I said before during this live stream, a person attempting to extort money from the Guthrie family has been arrested. It has come up to my understanding during an FBI press conference and sheriff's press conference that, or through the AI search, the 3 notes sent to different entities are identical. So I would assume they're from the same person. And if one person has been arrested for the fake attempt, fake extortion, that would probably have to be the same person that sent all 3 notes to TMZ and other news agents. So if you debunk the ransom letters, you're back to square one. If it's not about a ransom, the ransom is fake, then where is Mrs. Guthrie? And that leaves, to me, personal. You took her out and dumped her because it was personal, whatever took place in that house and whatever disagreement it was, robbery, altercation, whatever. Was the house invaded, broke into? Don't know. Sheriff's not saying. We know cameras were removed. Cameras were removed. And if she was asleep, she wouldn't receive any notifications from her phone. We also know that her pacemaker stopped connecting with her Apple devices a little bit after 2 a.m. But the person was on the property for under 15 minutes disabling cameras. And so you have to ask yourself, what was so important about getting into this house to make entry to hurt and harm this lady? What were you looking for? What were you trying to do? What was your motive for going into this woman's home, breaking and entering into this lady's home? And when you look at the timeline, 1:47, 9 times out of 10, Mrs. Guthrie was asleep. After 2 a.m., her pacemaker isn't syncing with the Apple devices. This is probably when she's already been in the throes of what was going on between she and the perpetrators. This is horrible. Blood found outside. I would assume blood would be on the inside because really you can't have one without the other. You can't have one without the other. They don't want to say what type of DNA it was inside. Well, I can use common sense. She went in her house. So what happened? She got hit outside, beat up outside, and then what? Passed out. But then you could get some information per pacemaker that she's feet away in her own house from the devices. I'm just saying. She would still be there. If she got assaulted outside the house and then stumbled her way inside, she would have been found inside. So I always tell people to pay attention to the details because I thought about that too. Maybe she was accosted when she got out of the car and the person jumped her outside. Well, she would have probably been found outside or inside. And if you accost her outside, you're going to probably drag her in to get what you're trying to get from her. And then you take her back out because she's not seen inside or around the property. Well, then where is she? This is a harrowing story. And this story takes me back to the Tepe case in Columbus, Ohio. She don't know people. That the very person you have trusted and cared for and loved, they don't feel the same. They have built up animosity, a grievance with you. And possibly this is the same type of scenario. I'm not really sure. But I do know there's no ransom. And the ransom is not connected to the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. So now it leaves the who and the why and where is she. And I do believe there will be an arrest because there's always an eye in the sky and Big Brother is always watching. And the one thing people don't count on is surveillance. You also have to consider geofencing. How many times the perpetrator was in the area if they were staking out the house and she is the target. Your car has been seen there. We know you weren't on foot because it would take too long to even get up there to where she lived from the main road. Stay woke. If indeed this was someone stalking her, lurking about the home. And they can track you from the make of your car, not necessarily the tags. I'm getting a feeling that this was personal and possibly someone related to Nancy Guthrie. And that is even more disturbing to even fathom her own children or relatives wanting to exact harm. And the only way you would want harm is if it is you have built up some type of distrust, vengeance, hate for Mrs. Guthrie. So all the things you've been hearing about her being nice, this and that, sometimes things aren't what they appear. And I know because I can speak from personal situations with my own family. Sometimes people aren't who you think they are. And it's not to say anything bad about Mrs. Guthrie. It's just to say that who a person is with one person, that is not how they are with somebody else. They won't. How a person treats one child, that's not how they treat another child. I think you know that. And I'm not here to say anything bad about this lady. But I know that sometimes what you think you know, you don't know. And what you assume is not the truth. And how a person is portrayed is not the truth. We really don't know these people. We don't know how Savannah Guthrie has navigated. You only know her from being on the Today Show. We don't know Mrs. Guthrie. We don't know anything. We don't know if she favored her children against the other one. Could it be that she mistreated her children, favored one over the other one? And as I said, it's not here to victim blame, but a lot of times, as they say, these stories are about passion. Passion. Someone was passionate about their feelings, even though they were derogatory. And once again, as I said, no matter what, even if there was animosity amongst these family members or anybody that knew this lady, knows this lady, it should have never resulted to you going into her home, either invited or breaking in to put hands on her. There comes a point in life when you have to let what's going to be. When you realize that you cannot get along with a person, it ain't working. You're not getting what you need from him or her. You have to fold. And I have to learn that myself. There's nothing wrong with folding. It is not a sign of defeat. You're doing what's best for you. Is this a case of greed? That someone was trying to benefit from Mrs. Guthrie being deceased? Life insurance policy, will, deed to a house, car title? Or is this vengeance for something somebody did or said in the Guthrie family, and they decided to go to the mother, assuming they love their mother, will take her out, harm her to get back at one of these kids? Or just some sicko out here rummaging around looking for a victim that broke into this house, did whatever they did to Mrs. Guthrie, and then took her out. Didn't know she was the mother of a famous person. That could be a fluke. Person was just out looking for a victim. Took her out, which to me wouldn't make any sense. Because you wouldn't want that extra weight of trying to dispose of a person. But anything is possible. That's my commentary. Like, share, subscribe, follow me here on YouTube. Also follow me on the Newsbreak app. Have content uploaded over there today. Check the polls on my community page. I will put up a poll pertaining to what was mentioned in the presser. What do you believe now pertaining to this debacle? Who's involved? Where is this case going? We're going to talk about the sheriff, if he does have a suspect. I'm going to put that on a poll as well. And if you'd like to donate to this great network, $Big Angie 129 Cash App. Stickers and checks are always welcome during the live. I want to thank Buffalo Mountain for coming on the panel to give her opinion. And I'm going to continue to pray for this family. I'm going to pray for those who actually love. Yeah, I'm going to say that. Actually love Mrs. Guthrie. I'm going to pray for resolution, that this case is solved. And whether this woman is alive or deceased, I'm going to pray for her safety, that she's returned, if indeed she is alive. It's a shame to even think of what has happened to her for whatever reason. This is why I keep trying to say to people, there comes a point where we have to own our part. We don't have to react. I'm going to let this slide, this grievance today. I'm not going to react. I'm not going to stalk, put my hands on a person, break in their house, hit them in the head, unalive them. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just going to let it be. But then the flip side is this was intentional and orchestrated to commit a crime against Nancy Guthrie. And all I can say is, if indeed this is what happened, have mercy on your soul. Because you're going to regret what you've done to this lady. No matter who she is, who you think she is, what you think she owes you, what you think you're entitled to. This ain't how you need to navigate. And there are times when you can't go back. And I got a feeling this is that time. What's been done has been done, and there is no going back. Prayers to the Guthrie family. Prayers to this community in Tucson, Arizona, the neighbors, church members, other family members, because I'm sure they're just as baffled at what in God's name is going on. And prayers for anybody out here thinking of exacting any harm against anybody. Please don't do it. Just walk on. Remove yourself and ask God to bless you in your ill will, ill feelings, because you don't want to be in that space. Because you just may be apprehended. And why die in a box? It's not what you want. Where is Nancy Guthrie? Is she alive? Who is the culprit, the motive? And will there be justice for this 84-year-old lady? I pray so. Thank you so much. You are listening to the Law Excel.